Good morning. Hello, everybody. It's morning for us. We're going to our run club. See a Plant Powered Movement shirt on Saturday mornings. Going to get our...
Mine says run.
Yours says run, run. We always get our steps, 12,000 a day. You should be getting your steps. Hopefully you're walking around, listening to us or watching us, or not just sitting around somewhere. And part of this whole equation is that we're going to talk today about Alzheimer's and dementia. And there's a specific factor we want to discuss, because we've had a few different articles we put together recently that discuss some general ideas. And then there was some kind of specific thing that hopefully I can remember what it is. Denise asked to we do an article on it. It's some kind of tangle or something like that. And that's what we're going to talk about, and how this relates to Alzheimer's and dementia and preventing, halting, and reversing it. So go for it.
How tau protein tangles happen in the human brain, and what is their relationship to Alzheimer's and dementia? I don't know if I'm pronouncing tau right. It's spelled T-A-U, but that's what it is. Tau protein tangles are a hallmark of Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. These tangles are composed of misfolded and abnormally shaped tau proteins that accumulate in the brain. I think we heard about this when we were at a breast cancer research dinner once. They were talking about tau protein too.
So it's a bad thing. That's a takeaway. Yeah. Bad. You don't want tau protein tangles. You don't want any kind of tangled protein.
Right. The normal tau protein forms part of a structure called a microtubule, which helps transport nutrients and other important substances from one part of the nerve cells to another. So it can be in other parts of the body.
Yeah. Well, in this case, it's in the brain. And I guess you don't want it in any parts of the body. That's maybe a subject of another video. This one deals specifically with the brain, human health, brain health.
Because it sounds like even if you're eating the right stuff, like antioxidants, they're not getting delivered because they're getting tangled in these proteins.
They're getting entangled in the proteins. They're entrapping. They're entrapping the good stuff. Blocking stuff.
When tau proteins become misfolded, they can no longer perform their normal function, and they begin to clump together, forming neurofibrillary tangles. I wonder if that's a form of cancer.
Yeah, I don't know, but it definitely relates to this, because they say this is a leading cause of Alzheimer's and dementia.
Yeah. The accumulation of tau protein tangles in the brain is associated with a range of negative side effects, including a decline in cognitive function, memory loss, and other symptoms of dementia. Other serious brain diseases associated with abnormal tau protein are chronic traumatic encephalopathy, Pick disease,
I don't know what that is.
frontotemporal dementia with Parkinsonism, progressive supranuclear palsy,
oh my gosh,
and corticobasal degeneration.
So it causes all kinds of stuff. This stuff is really bad. These tau protein tangles, bad stuff.
Yeah. These forms of dementia are different, but they're all severe and progressive. The root cause of tau protein tangles is not yet fully understood, but researchers believe that a combination of genetic and environmental factors play a role.
Okay, now this is the most important takeaway from this whole thing. We've been doing a lot of videos, and I know that we're at a point in time in 2023, fast forward 10 years, where science and the articles and whoever's in charge of all this stuff is saying we don't know. I, however, I'm of the opinion that that is not correct, and I think we absolutely know. And I think that there's just way too many reasons why this information is being suppressed. And you'll get a little bit of insight into that here in the article.
Some studies have suggested that a diet high in saturated fat and cholesterol may increase the risk of developing tau protein tangles and other forms of dementia.
So may, okay, well, they're saying first, in one.
It's in a study.
Right, but listen to what they said. In one thing, they say, well, we don't really know how this is caused. And another one, they say, well, there's highly suggestive evidence here that this is actually what causes it. So if we haven't quite gotten there yet, where do you think we're going? Where do you think what do you think's actually happening here? Is my question to you. Write in the comments.
Yeah, so it's part genetic and it's part environmental. And this is suggesting that a diet high in saturated fat and cholesterol increases your risk. And where do you get food with the most saturated fat and cholesterol? Animal products.
Yeah, animal products, and also any kind of processed vegan food as well, for the most part. So
vegan food doesn't have cholesterol.
Oh yeah, you're right. Dietary cholesterol,
yeah.
But that's a subject of another article. And actually, as we've found out recently, and I found out even more recently, consuming dietary cholesterol does not necessarily raise your blood cholesterol level. It may have an impact on this, and any kind of overconsumption of fats in general will literally clog up your system. And if you hear about this tau protein tangle, what do you think that is? It's basically a clogging up of your system. So it all is related.
So where do you get saturated fat in animal, in vegan
Coconut.
food? Coconut oil.
Coconut.
So what
Coconut.
is
Just coconut meat.
Yeah,
The oil is just an extraction of the meat.
Yeah, but in animal products, it's in almost everything. Like chicken, butter.
Yeah, it's all bad. No question. All animal products are bad. Some plant products are bad.
Preventing, halting, and reversing tau protein tangles may be a key to preventing, halting, and reversing Alzheimer's and dementia. While there is no cure for these diseases, there are steps that individuals can take to reduce their risk of developing tau protein tangles and other forms of dementia. These steps include
Denise is a little cold.
Sorry, I have a cold. Maintaining a healthy diet, getting regular exercise, engaging in mentally stimulating activities like not watching TV. Some people have noted that the process of tau protein tangles and clumps that accumulate in the brain is similar to the process of how cardiovascular disease develops in the circulatory
Right,
system.
and also consider the fact that we were talking about fat earlier and consuming fat in dietary form. That basically slows everything down. If the whole idea of Alzheimer's and dementia is you're getting slow, you can't process as well, of course it's related to the consumption of fat. That literally slows everything down inside of your body and starts to clog it up.
They refer to Alzheimer's and dementia as type 3 diabetes, and noting its relationship to its development following the onset of type 2 diabetes and the next logical step. So just a reminder, type 2 diabetes is caused by consuming too much fat and not sugar like we used to think. However, this view is still a matter of debate among researchers, and more studies are needed to fully understand the relationship between these diseases. In other words, more funding is needed. And who's going to fund a healthy diet?
What do you mean funding? No. More funding is not needed. That's my whole... My point is more funding is not needed because the funding comes from the existing status quo large conglomerates.
Yeah,
that's where the funding comes from.
It's
okay,
not going to come from the vegetable farmers like we would hope. Eating as much certified healthy vegan food as possible is important, since added oil isn't allowed as part of this diet. To be considered healthy vegan food, a prepared food dish must meet the following requirements: no added oil, no added salt, no added sugar, no animal products, no processed foods. In conclusion, tau protein tangles are a major factor in the development of Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. While the root causes of these tangles are not yet fully understood, there's evidence to suggest that a healthy diet and lifestyle may help prevent or slow their progression. By taking steps to reduce their risk of developing tau protein tangles and other forms of dementia, individuals can help protect their brain health and maintain their cognitive function as they age.
all right, so basically the bottom line in the quick form is we can't prove it all right now. Okay, we cannot prove it all. No one's saying we can prove this, we know beyond a shadow of a doubt. But everybody agrees that this is a major issue and it needs to be discussed, and we need to figure out what to do. The question is, are we going to look at the root cause of something like this, or are we going to try to manage the symptoms? And if we're looking at the root cause, why would you not want to cut down on your consumption of dietary fat and dietary cholesterol, from like you were saying in the article, right?
Not just any fat, saturated fat.
Yeah, especially that. I would say especially, because all fats cause a problem. They are super thick. They slow you down. They build up, all that kind of stuff. That's why you don't pour oil and grease down your drains, okay? Because that's what happens. We all know that.
The saturated fats are the worst. Those are the ones that are solid at room temperature.
Yes, yes, they are basically all fats are a problem, but saturated fats are less viscous. If you want to use a definition of motor oil, they have a lower viscosity, therefore they do more clogging damage than things that are more flowing at lower temperatures, if that makes sense. And it is all related, actually, if you ask me, because oils, which is the isolated form of fat, to fat isolate, they can lubricate your car just as well as they can go in your body as food. And it's kind of scary to think about it from that way. So I would not want to ever have any oil. That's what I'd say. Unless you don't mind pouring motor oil in your body, which I wouldn't do. So that's all I have to say. Anything else you want to add?
No.
All right, so give us your comments. We'd love to see your feedback, ideas for more videos. Please give us a thumbs up. It definitely helps us with the algorithm, and subscribe if you don't already. Also get my book, Live to 150, at liveto150.org. It's totally free, and it talks about all these different habits, things that you can do that are gonna actually have a giant positive impact on your health, which hopefully this article has inspired you to do some more work like that. So thanks, we'll see you in the next video. Bye.